Guys, recently we ran into a problem. I lost the keys to our car. And to make it worse, we only have one pair of keys for this car, which is a great reminder for me to make duplicates. Unfortunately, it's too late for that. And one more thing, all the doors are locked. We never locked the door, so I'm not sure how that happened. So the last couple of days, my wife and I were looking all over the house for the keys, could not find them. So I thought I would take a closer look inside the car, and in this case, the window tint was not helping at all. But I think I did find the keys when I looked from the passenger side into the driver's door, and it looks like they might be in the driver's door. Which is another weird thing, because usually when the keys are in the car automatically unlocks even if you lock it. So I was gonna go to Home Depot and get some tools to pry the door open and a metal rod to be able to reach in there and press the unlock button. But before I did that, I talked to my friend that works on cars, and luckily he has one of these kits that he borrowed to me, and I'm gonna be using this for the first time. I've never had to use this before. So I'm gonna be filming this from the perspective of a complete beginner for beginners to see what it's really like when you try this for the first time. I think a kit like this is especially helpful to have for people that have multiple cars and multiple drivers, especially if those drivers are teenagers. Eventually the keys will get locked in the car. So let's get this party started, and hopefully I'll be able to open up my door real quick. Here's a couple of prying tools. I'm probably gonna be using this in the beginning to pry the door open a little bit, so I can squeeze this pillow thing inside and pump it up in order to separate the door from the frame so I can get this rod inside of there. And this is neat how they did this. The rod comes in 3 parts. You assemble it together and you have a nice long rod that can reach any of the unlock buttons or the unlock levers. We got some more prying tools, all kinds of them here. I don't think I'll be needing to use all of them, just one of them will be enough. And I should be able to get this done pretty quick. I hope. So I'm gonna reach in there with this and either unlock the door manually or try to press the button to get the doors unlocked. So let's see how that goes. Before I pry on anything, I'm gonna try to put this pillow in just by itself because the edges are pretty stiff. So let's see if I'm gonna be able to do that. Oh, no way, look at that, it goes right in. Wow, I didn't even need to pry anything to get the door off. Okay, good deal. So a lot of these tools are probably just good to have for different kind of doors, but for a door like this, apparently you don't even need to pry. Good deal. So now I should be able to just pump it up to separate the door from the frame. All right, let's see if I can get my rod inside of here. It's coming in pretty stiff. So I think I might have to pump it up a little bit more. Okay, it seemed like it was going to be fairly straightforward, but I am struggling with this a little bit more than I thought I would be. Okay, so I see the rod went in, but it's not going in any further, just that far. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deflate this and move it down further and see if that helps at all. And I think I just heard a self-protection feature. So if I over pump it, I actually hear it releasing some air. So at least with this kit, it seems like you can't overdo it, but I'm not sure. Those of you that are really experienced with this, please do let me know in the comments if you've wrecked the doors with one of these things before. Okay, that's much better. So with the pillow a little bit down, I'm able to get this rod in a lot easier. Look at that. And now let's see if I can save the day. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is harder than it looks. It's been over a minute now, and I'm barely reaching the door, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I think it would be super helpful to have a person on the other side looking into that window and telling you to go higher or lower. Otherwise, you're just kind of really just guessing, blindly groping around there with this rod. So what I'm doing is I'm looking inside the window at that side, how it's set up, and I'm trying to catch the unlock lever on top of the door handle to pull on that. But so far I haven't been having any luck. I did watch a couple of other videos before doing this and they made it look super easy. If you're doing this for the first time, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be easy for you. Just like it's not for me. And I'm not having much luck at all. So I'm going to go ahead and either call my wife or my son to go ahead and look into the other window and help me out a little bit here. On top of all those buttons, the very top button, that's the unlock button. So as I'm going to be swinging this rod around, tell me where I am, okay?
Okay.
All right, so my son was conveniently running by, and I asked him to help me locate the button where to press. Go closer to the steering wheel. Okay, tell me, am I even close to the door handle?
You're low.
So go higher?
Yes, higher.
Okay, so I had it as 3 bars long, but now I'm going to put a 4th one in. And I think that's going to help me bend it, because right now what I'm running into is, as I put this bar inside of there, it keeps swinging out towards the center of the car. So I have to pry it in towards the door. And I think if the bar is longer, then I won't struggle as much getting the bar to the door instead of having it swing out on me like that. Okay, so now the bar is about this long, so very long. Let's see if that's going to be helpful at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The longer bar really helps. Okay. There's a reason why they give you 4 pieces instead of 3. Okay, babe, where am I? You know what I'm going to do? There's another prying tool in there. Hopefully I'm not damaging my door. This red wedge. I'm gonna stick this guy, because what I'm doing right now is basically pulling this with my hand to pry it just a little bit more. So I'm gonna stick this guy on top here. Just like that. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, so now I have my other hand to be able to do whatever I need here. What if I put this wedge? Oh, this is actually much better. Right above the pillow. Oh, look at that. Now I have a lot of room. And I could go at a diagonal. Oh, babe, this is so much easier.
You want your handle?
Let's try the handle first.
Oh, get closer to that.
Am I at the lock? Am I in the gap?
Yeah, you're literally on the lock of the handle. Yep. Click. Click. You did it, babes.
Oh, man. I don't think I would ever be happy to hear a car alarm like this.
Oh my goodness.
Man, that took way longer than I thought. Even with my wife's help. Once I finally got the door open, everything just kind of fell down. Let's go ahead and deflate this guy. And let's take a look at what kind of damages I did to the door. There's definitely what seems like a little bit more of a gap than what used to be here. I'm hoping that with time, this will just kind of seat itself back in. It's not terrible. It's just protruding a little bit. Let me go look at the other side. Yeah, this side definitely looks more flush. Luckily, it's only protruding a little bit, so I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'm just happy I finally got the keys out. It's one of these kind of keys that don't actually have a normal looking key. You press this button and the key slides out. I believe they're called laser cut keys. And after this little fiasco, I'm definitely gonna go make a copy of this. And my wife reminded me, I totally forgot, but on the dash of the car, it was showing me that the battery for the key is dying. So maybe that's why it didn't automatically unlock the doors even with the keys inside. So I'm probably gonna get a duplicate, and I'm also gonna change the battery on this. My original plan was to get a metal rod from Home Depot, bend it, and try to do this. But man, this would have been really hard. Now that I've done this once, without that proper tool, this would have been difficult. So my original plan was to use that little red hook to grab this and just pull up. But that is actually a lot harder than it seems. Even though there's a little notch here that you can latch onto, that just doesn't work. So what I was doing, especially when my wife was helping me, I was putting that red hook in here and I was trying to pull this like this to get it unlocked. That wasn't working, so I went with the next best option, which is to press this unlock button right over here. And even this was really hard to do. It took me a long time to try to get that red hook in here and press the right button. And if we take a closer look at the frame and the door, looks like there's no scratches on the frame. I didn't tear up the seal at all, so that's nice. And on the door itself, looks like this seal went out a little bit. I should be able to just press that, there we go, press that back in. That snaps back in place. But yeah, it looks like I didn't tear anything up on the gaskets, so that's good. The only damage I did on the door was this, and the fact that it's bent out a little bit. Well guys, that was quite a bit more exciting than I thought it would be. I literally had sweat running down my back. In fact, my shirt right now is still sticking to me. If you guys ever run into this, hopefully you have AAA service or something similar, and if you have to do it by hand manually like I did, I bless your job to be much smoother and quicker than it was for me. But if you have any suggestions of how I could have done this better or faster, please do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me for the ride, and I'll see you next time. I'm filming this part a little bit later, and I already had a chance to go to Ace Hardware. I called them ahead of time and asked if they can duplicate keys like this. They told me yes. I went over there, and apparently they can't duplicate just the key for the door. They have to program it with the fob and everything. They give me a duplicate like that. But when they went to do it, apparently this model they don't have in stock, or for one reason or another, they can't do it for me. So my only option is to go to the Subaru dealership. I'm sure that's gonna be more expensive. I'm not really quite sure how much this costs to get a duplicate, probably like 250 bucks, somewhere there. So I'm not sure if I wanna do that. Probably just not gonna leave my keys in the car anymore. And as I went to the store and back, I quickly realized that this gap in the door is gonna be a problem. When I'm driving, it sounds like my window is open even though it's not. Here's what it sounds like when I was driving. So I'm gonna attempt to fix this gap so it doesn't look like this, but instead looks like this. That would be better. And the way I'm gonna do this is with a piece of wood. Optimally, you wanna use a 2x4. It just makes it more sturdy. I couldn't find one for some reason, so I'm just using a piece of wood that I found outside. I'm gonna stick this into the car, between the frame and the car door. I'm gonna lower it a little bit, about here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and close the door. Just like that. Perfect. And with the window down, because somebody told me that the window could break if you do it with the window up. With the window down, you're just gonna press really hard right in top. So let's give it a shot. Okay. I felt like I pressed it really hard. So let's see if that did the trick. Look at that. Perfect. I did it from my first try. And that right there should take care of the whistle. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I have a couple of dad jokes for you. I told my mechanic that I heard a knocking sound. He said, "That's just your wallet asking to be let out." And why don't cars ever get tired? That's because they're always exhausted.